this is what you want, I'll embrace it. Where the devil are we? I have always been loyal. Let me serve.
Once again, it's just you and me. Despicable vermin!
I can feel the darkness. It's everywhere.
Look at what we have here. Shut it! And die!
Good lord, it is cold in here. Doesn't explain why I'm sweating, but it's cold in here. Hi, everybody, and thanks for joining us for today's Dead by Daylight official Doomed Course Livestream. If you can believe it, this is actually our last show of 2024.
Yeah.
And it's been quite a year for Dead by Daylight. It's, obviously we're going to dive into the new chapter and everything that comes with Doomed Course in just a second. First, we just wanted to take a second to thank the community and thank the viewers that have been tuning in for each of these shows on YouTube and Twitch. It's been a super cool way for us, obviously, but also our devs to connect with our players in like a very personal way and put a spotlight on that team and share what we're working on, obviously, too. So we hope you've been enjoying them as much as we've been enjoying making them. You can definitely expect more in the new year. But today, like I said, we're here to talk about Doomed Course.
Yes, we're all super excited about this latest chapter, especially myself. I got to actually consult on one of these characters, and bringing in these two dark, complex, and brutal characters in the Dead by Daylight and the Houndmaster and Tori Kane. Beyond the chapter, we'll also be sharing some details on some of our upcoming events, new collections, and more. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at today's run of show. Kicking things off, our product director Rose and myself will be deep diving into the lore of the Houndmaster and Tori Kane and how each of their stories actually connect to the wider world of Dead by Daylight.
And I'll be sitting down with killer designer Nick as he breaks down everything that went into creating the Houndmaster and gives tips on how to be the best pet owner in the entity's realm. Next up, we've got dork and game designer Mael to tell us about everything new and cool that you can expect from the annual Bone Chill event, snowmen and all.
And after that, I'll be back with Rose to turn the spotlight on all of our upcoming collections for the release. We're going to be taking a look at some of the new and returning collections and even break some news revealing an incredible new collaboration just around the corner. And last but not least, we'll be winding things down with our not-so-live Q&A and try to answer as many questions as we can before signing off. As I said, this stream is pre-recorded, so we have a curated list of some questions that we've gathered from you all that we're going to be answering today.
That's right. So, since it's the last time we're going to be doing this for 2024, we thought it was a good time to give away some early holiday gifts. So, we've got 3 new Twitch drops for today's live stream. You can start earning them now until December 12th. Don't forget, you can register by following the QR code that you're about to see or going to our website and linking your behavior account to your Twitch account.
Yes, so to help you with getting into the spirit of the season, we have a holiday pattern banner for watching 1 hour, a frozen generator charm of watching 3 hours, and this kind of cute, kind of disturbing gingerbread victim badge for accumulating 6 total hours of watch time.
I mean, I don't see it disturbing at all. I think it's pretty cute. You know, I think festive is the word I would use to describe these.
I think you're right, and I don't want to talk down about what you brought to us, because you brought these amazing charms and stuff, so thank you so much.
Yeah, I thought it'd be a nice thank you to the community. But let's keep the show rolling and get to the next segment to dive into the lore of Doomed Course.
Thank you so much, 12.
Bye.
our new Killers gameplay to our chapter collection, we've got a lot of Doomed Course content ahead for you today. And what better way to kick it all off than taking a closer look at the lore behind our two new characters. Lucky for us, we've got our amazing product director, Rose, here to talk it through with me, because we're just two chill girls who really like DBD lore. So welcome back.
Thanks, Dork. So the Houndmaster and Tarkane are definitely two of the more unique killers and survivors that we've introduced so far, not only because of their tragic stories, as you'll see in a bit, but also because of how they connect to the deep lore of Dead by Daylight. I can't wait to talk about it. So let's start with the Houndmaster.
Yeah, so I've personally been really interested in this killer ever since she was conceived. Fans will know her as the Houndmaster, but her real name is Portia May. And while she might be terrifying if you run into her in a trial, you might get stepped on, she wasn't always that way. Portia's backstory is that she lived in the Caribbean during the 18th century with her father, who was a ship's captain. She had a happy childhood growing up sailing along the seas with him, along with her loyal puppy Snug, who was a gift to her from her dad.
But this is Dead by Daylight, so obviously good times don't last long.
Yeah, exactly. So obviously it had to come down to an end, and their ship was attacked by pirates on the open sea, and she was forced to watch as her father was tortured and murdered in front of her. She was kept alive by the pirates as a navigator, and as her first act of revenge, she steered the ship into the deadly storm in the dreaded Dragon's Tooth. Today, we actually know that area as the Bermuda Triangle. She woke up on an island in the Dragon's Tooth, the only survivor of the shipwreck, alongside her dog.
At this point, it would make a lot of sense to think that Portia is actually this chapter's survivor. But what she didn't realize was that the Dragon's Tooth, or the place where she was marooned off, was actually a bleed, an overlap of the entity's realm and our world. She survived on the island for years, fighting off animals, strange monsters, and other pirates who just made their way into the Dragon's Tooth. Mm-hmm. And all the while, she was driven slowly insane by her exposure to the bleed, making her see the face of the man who'd murdered her father and every person she encountered. So, with the help of her dogs, the thing she trusts the most in this world, she killed them all.
Portia is obviously a pretty tragic character in Dead by Daylight, and the team actually took inspiration from some of the most famous Shakespearean tragedies when creating her story. We've treated this like a tale of revenge taken to the extreme, exploring how hardships and hate can really lead to madness, driving an otherwise normal person to becoming truly unhinged in a really terrifying way. She started out as a good person with a good life, and who was corrupted by the entity until she was finally taken into the fog to become the Houndmaster that we see in the game. Merciless, dominant, and overall bloodthirsty.
And to add to that, it's important to know that the last bit of Portia's humanity really is her connection to Snug. And that connection you can even see in game when that merciless killer seems to soften just a little bit when she's petting her dog. This dynamic is a huge part of her gameplay, so we wanted to take the extra time in her story to make sure that we emphasize that connection, how important it can be between a person and their pet.
Yeah, you know, I can honestly sit here on this couch with you and just keep talking about the Houndmaster all day. I absolutely love this killer. But now let's go ahead and talk about our new survivor, Tori Kane, who you'd think would actually wind up as this chapter's killer, but instead was pulled into the entity's realm as a survivor. On the surface, considering that Tori and the Houndmaster are separated by not only hundreds of years, but thousands of miles, you might actually think that they don't share a lot in common. But there are actually a couple of key themes here that connects the both of them. On top of both being affected in different ways with their exposure to the bleeds, which we'll talk about more in a second, both of these characters have been victims of circumstance and their environment. Portia went down a dark path with being thrust into a terrible reality as a child, but for Tori, she was set on this doomed course much earlier in her life, actually from birth, making it like basically all she ever knew.
Mm-hmm. So Tori comes from a Scottish origin and was raised as a member of the Black Talon, an offshoot of the Black Veil organization, which is dedicated to researching secrets of entities like the Bleeds. The Black Talon has definitely taken a lot of interest in researching and finding these locations. As someone who was born into this world, and whose parents were also part of the Black Talon, Tori is absolutely certain that her beliefs are true and that the things they are doing are for the betterment of humanity.
Yeah, betterment for real. But now that you mention it, it does bring up a fun fact. One of the earliest members of the Black Talon, also obsessed with understanding bleeds, is another Dead by Daylight character, Talbot Grimes. You actually might know him as the Blight, but we're gonna get back to the story. So after losing several members of her family during an expedition into the bleed, one that Tori seemed to miraculously survive without even wearing a protective suit, Tori emerged more dedicated than ever in service to the entity, feeling her life's work had somehow been validated for her.
At this point, Tari is already on a dark path, and it only gets darker as she rises through the ranks in the Black Talon. So this path hits a point of no return when she is asked to kill someone for the first time.
Ooh.
It's a sacred ritual meant to appease the entity before you're entering a bleed. The man she was instructed to kill was named Jordan Rios, who's actually the stepbrother of survivor Hattie Core. He was searching for his sister and working to expose the Black Talon. But Tori hesitated, and that's when the entity decided to take her into the fog and put her into the trials as a survivor.
Yeah, we don't know exactly why the entity made this decision, but for whatever reason, this is what the entity wanted for Tori.
So yeah, those are our two new characters. Each one twisted by the life or the circumstances they were born into, each one corrupted by their exposure to the bleeds, and in turn becoming something truly unexpected.
Absolutely unexpected, especially how they both just switch roles. Anyway, thank you so much, Rose, for that hashtag story time. We'll be back together a little later in the show to talk about our latest collections, including the Doomed Course collection. So be sure to check out deadbydaylight.com after the stream, to read the full lore of both the Houndmaster and Tori Kane. But next up, we're going to do a check-in with Eric, having him back on the couch for our next segment.
Oh, wow. Come on with the cold again. Well, I love to see segments like that. That was awesome. The characters have so many connections to the DVD lore. I think our lore fans probably, I hope, really appreciated that. But aside from the lore, and obviously aside from gameplay, one of the ways to communicate to our players when a new character is coming is through the visuals. So when it comes to creating a visual identity for our marketing, it's really important for us to show that the killer is intimidating and imposing.
Yeah, absolutely. And for the Doomed Course chapter art, we actually went back to our roots and brought in the incredibly talented Donald Karen, who worked with us to bring a bunch of the early Dead by Daylight chapters to life. Chapters such as The Demise of the Faithful and the Cursed Legacy key art, and many, many others. Donald has always had this knack for mastering how to get just the heart of what makes each character so terrifying. The Houndmaster's case, the focus is on her ruthless yet calm exterior that barely conceals the rage that's just boiling underneath. And of course, her loyal hound.
And we're really happy with how it turned out and what it shares about the killer. We're also looking forward, obviously, to working with other artists in the future for chapter art like that, and for helping to tell our characters' stories in new and exciting and even scary ways.
Exactly. But stories schmories. Now let's go ahead and look at Maury's with the Houndmaster's gameplay.
Well done.
Thank you.
And we're back. A big thanks to Dork and Rose. That was an awesome segment going through the lore of Tori and the Houndmaster. It's good to have that time to talk about lore, so you're welcome, lore nerds. But now gameplay nerds get their segment with an old friend coming back to the show, Nick, our killer designer. Welcome back, Nick.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
I can tell. You got your fantastic necklace on, so I know that's your mood right now. Fantastic.
Yeah, as always.
So the last time you were here, people may remember, you were here to talk about your previous original killer, which was for the All Things Wicked chapter. The Unknown, a fan favorite. So Unknown fans, put a dub in chat for The Unknown and for Nick. So you're back now to tell us about the new killer, the Houndmaster. And she comes with her own animal companion, which is incredibly cool and new. So where did the idea for the Houndmaster come from?
So earlier this year, after we put out 2v8, we really sort of thrived off sort of the emotion of killer players finally not being alone for the first time in the trial. And we loved seeing that joy. So we took that cue and started thinking about a killer that was always partnered up and could use that opportunity to bring a sixth character into the trials. We obviously had killers with secondary objects or characters before, but when we sat down to make the Houndmaster, we went back and took a close look at those characters. We studied what worked great, where the friction points were, and then used sort of that research to make the best possible animal companion for our players to partner with.
Super cool. And so does that mean that Snug the dog is Dead by Daylight's first true AI-controlled animal companion?
Yeah. It's fully AI powered. You got it in one. The closest thing we have in the game is Night, but there's two main differences. The first is that the Night's guards are only temporary. They disappear eventually, so none of them are a permanent part of the trial. And the second is they can only respect what players had dictated for their pathing, both killer and survivor side. The Houndmaster's dog, on the other hand, isn't magic. It's not summoned. It's a real dog. It's always on the map, and while you definitely tell it where to go, it figures out on its own path to get where it needs to be. Our biggest challenge was to hit the right balance of the dog being able to act independently, but also responding promptly to killer commands and general player interactions. It came down to making sure that the dog would still have the right mind, its own little mind to decide what to do, but and feel like it's like a new character in the trial, but it's never taking decisions and agency away from the human killer players and the survivors.
So even though it's making choices for itself, it's not doing it at the expense of the player, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. The killer is called the Houndmaster. She is the master of hounds. And that's what really wanted the player to feel like. You're the one in charge. You're making all the decisions. You're telling the dog what to do. And the command over the dog is your tool. But it's the Houndmaster who is the star of the show. That approach also lets us focus on creating a dog that wasn't scary, but also didn't feel evil. We know that bully breeds and other larger breeds like the Cane Corso have unfortunate stigma, so we really worked hard to make sure that Snug, as he's called, feels like a good boy for all the killers and the survivors.
He's a good boy.
Oh yeah, he's great.
So on the note of the merciless killer of Portia, what is the vibe that you're hoping players to feel when they play as her?
So for the Houndmaster, we're really proud of how the character's power and perks came together to pretty accurately reflect her personality. Playing the killer is all about control, order, domination, and that runs everything she does right down to her Mori. She uses the dog to create an oppressive feeling across the map, and her perks are all about interrupting and controlling what the survivors can do. We don't quite have time to get into all of them today, but you can check out deadbydaylight.com after the show for all the details on all of them.
Cool. So, okay, let's get to the killer power. We know the Houndmaster is all about commanding Snug. So what exactly does he do?
So the Houndmaster's power is called Scent of Blood. It breaks down into 2 special abilities and 1 special effect. You can command your dog to do 2 things, chase and search. So the chase command is all about sending Snug out to hunt down survivors and bring them back to you. This basically turns Snug into a projectile, but one driven by AI that can adapt to terrain and navigate obstacles in that way. We also added something pretty cool called Redirect, which you can use once per chase command. This lets you take control of Snug really briefly, like you're shouting a command from afar, and you can tell it, manually how to change its trajectory and come from different angles at survivors. This opens up a ton of possibilities, and is a lot of fun to play with and land like those sick shots from different angles.
So while Snug is out there far away from you, what happens when he sees a survivor?
So if Snug's in a chase and it tags a survivor, it's going to grip its arm and starts dragging them back to the Houndmaster. The dog cannot injure a survivor, though. That's Portia's job. We want to make this moment as interactive as possible. So during a grab, the dog can be interrupted by stuns, any stun. So have fun figuring that out. And also, another survivor can come help you out and rescue you from a grab, which will be a great tool for survivors who love to take risks. And I think this is going to be a killer who people really enjoy when they like cooperating, taking protection hits, and like coordinating to like really team up against like killers in close quarters.
So you also mentioned there's a search command. How does that work differently from this?
So chase command is a little bit more aggressive. Search command is a little bit more about information. So search command allows you to pick a point on the map, you look around, and then tell the dog to go over there, and Snug will decide its own path to how to get there. It's going to cross the map if it needs to be. So while Snug's in search mode, he creates something called the Hound Sense Radius. It's a circle that reveals the location of survivors caught inside of it and continues to grow the longer he patrols. So the more further you send Snug away, the larger the radius is and the easy it is to find survivors. Survivors caught in the radius will receive the Hound Sense killer effect. And what that means is if they're healthy and they become injured, they'll get deep wounds. And if they go from injured to the dying state, the person on the ground will have louder grunts of pain and leave longer lasting pools of blood. This is very useful if maybe you forgot where you left someone on the ground, which happens to me a bit often.
So finally, are there any tips for playing as or against the Houndmaster?
So as the Houndmaster, you sort of need to think about your powers as a series of tools. So not every ability or aspect of the ability is, an automatic use every time. So if you want to use chase command, you have to figure out like what's around me, where's the obstacle, where's my dog, where's the survivor heading. It's a lot of questions, but the fact is the power is really great at capturing people and managing their space, so it can be used to really threaten someone or cut them off from their location. And also, redirect is sort of a really good double-edged sword. It can really extend the distance and sort of surprise survivors by coming from different angles. But if you use it without consideration, you might actually create like a lot of unwanted distance between you and the survivor. So you try to learn how to use it really smartly. And also, search is great for getting a lot of information on where survivors are, where are they not. That's really important. And playing mind games, because when you send search out, now you're alone, but Snug's separated from you. Survivors don't know that. Right. Like, they don't know if you followed Snug on the path. So try to mind game people and make them ask questions and making mistakes. And also, as a survivor, when you're facing off against the Houndmaster, of course, pay attention, because when Snug starts acting on behalf of the search command and is going to try and visit an objective across the map, it's broadcasting a lullaby. So you have to pay attention. How close is the dog barking and growling? Do I hear the terror radius? If I move away, what's evolving around me? And also, this is a truism of Dead by Daylight, but pallets are your best friend. So pallets can be used to stun Snug and the killer. If you do that, you have my utmost respect. It's really hard to do. But you have to be careful, because if you time the pallet drop a little bit too late or a little bit too early, Snug can go over pallets, also windows, and grab you from the other side. Or the killer can even trigger a redirect from the other side of a vault point. So there's a lot of critical questions and timing you need to figure out while playing against the Houndmaster.
Fantastic. You're a human game guide. That was excellent. Take a breath. Thanks, Nick. It's always great having you on the show. I always love your energy, but also your designs are so interesting and cool. So thanks to Nick in the chat, and Dorks, I'm be coming right back out for another check-in. We'll see you next time, bud.
Hey, thanks, Eric.
All right, well, while that wraps up everything Doomed Course, it doesn't wrap up our show. You can't leave yet. Before we move on to everything Bone Chill, we've got a quick update for you on our favorite topic, merch. We know you guys are always hungry for the latest and greatest additions to the store, and we're happy to say that we've just brought in some awesome new items. Available now in the Dead by Daylight shop, you'll be able to pick up all 4 of the pieces of our new Moonstone Cafe collection. Our lore fans will know that the Moonstone Cafe is where Sable and Michaela worked before the entity decided that they would be great additions to his collection. So what I love most about this is that all of these things that you can find in the shop are things that would actually be in the cafe.
Yeah, let's take a look. So the first up, we've got an authentic Moonstone mug from the cafe, similar to what Michaela or Sable would have served you your coffee in if you stopped by for a visit. You got the plastic cup if you needed to take your order on the go and escape the entity. On the wall of the cafe, you might have seen this very cool, very custom Moonstone Cafe neon sign. And for those customers who treat the Moonstone like a second home, a t-shirt you might recognize from the bewitching barista outfit that Michaela has to help rep your favorite coffee house around town.
Yeah, all of them are great new additions to the store. And don't forget that they're all available now for anyone who wants to get their hands on the order after the show. In the meantime, it's going to be on to me and Mael to take a look at this year's Bone Chill event.
Brr.
Entities greetings, everyone. Some people start looking forward to the holiday season this time of year, but here at Dead by Daylight, we look forward to snow skulls and killer snowmen, as well as eggnog, because who doesn't want a nice cup of eggnog? And if you say you don't, you're wrong. That's right, our Bone Chill winter event is right around the corner, and here we've got Mael here with us to tell us about the new features coming into your favorite Frosty holiday event. So thanks for joining us, Mael.
Great to be here.
So this is our 4th year bringing Bone Chill into the fog, and I know that some players have been looking forward to this since last month. So what, Mael, can you tell us about this event for people who are coming into the snow for the first time?
This has always been a really fun event and a great way for Dead by Daylight to celebrate the season in its own bloody way. This year, the Bone Chill event will start December 12th and end on January 7th. Bone Chill has a few gameplay staples that we're bringing back this year and adding to as well. Snowmen are back. You'll find them around the map, and both killer and survivors can jump inside of them and move around in a snowman disguise. And as we've done for last year, some of these snowmen will be a snowman decoy, which means they look normal, but when you get close, they'll come to life. They'll give you a big jump scare, they will explode, and they will make noise, alerting all surrounding players.
Okay, so how about the snow skulls and the snow piles? Is that coming back this year?
Yes, they're coming back. You can pick up snow skull from snow pile, which can be, then you can throw them around at players for fun, or can also be thrown at snowmen to destroy them and reveal if a survivor or a killer is hiding inside of it.
Okay, and I know you and the team really wanted to focus on the snowmen gameplay this year. So what can you tell us that's changed for that?
Well, we know that players really like the mystery of seeing a snowman move around and not knowing if it was a killer or a survivor in there. It's a great setup for a lot of fun mind games, and we really wanted to play that up even more this time.
Oh.
So we've added the 2 new features this year. The first one is that some snowmen will move around on their own.
That's not good, Mael.
Yeah. These snowmen could be a normal snowman that you can jump into, or it could be an actual player, but you will only know when you get close and you investigate.
Oh, I don't like that at all. But I feel super uncomfortable. You know, it's really cranking up that paranoia, but We'll see. I think I like it. So what are the other additions you've got for me?
We've also added something new to the snow pile.
Okay.
You'll still be able to get a snow skull, but you'll have the option to trade in those snow skulls for the new event ability, the instant snowman.
Okay.
So this is literally like having a portable snowman in your pocket that you can put out and jump into at any time, and then put back away for later use. So it gives both killers and survivors a chance to quickly hide in plain sight and play even more with those fun mind games with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Player will also have the option where instead of putting the snowman away for later use, they can leave a snowman behind themselves, and it will turn that snowman into a snowman decoy. And it's kind of like setting traps around the map. But don't be too scared, because on the survivor side, you'll see the aura of decoy that were left behind by your teammates. So you can kind of know where other teammates want to surveil the map, but it's mostly so you don't trigger their jump scare.
I really like the idea of Survivor being able to play as the trapper for the winter event. But I also hear that you're bringing something new in terms of offerings this year. So what do you got?
Yes, we are. This will be the first time that we'll be introducing a winter team offering.
Mm-hmm.
When equipped in your loadout, it will grant you additional blood points for all unique Bone Chill event gameplay interaction. And also it will let you start the trial with 6 snow skull already in your pocket, so you can already start the trial shooting them around or trade them in for the instant snowman.
Mm-hmm.
And also with the offering, it will generate an additional chest in the trial. And for the duration of the event, some of these chests will be turned into winter team chests. And yeah, those chests, they guarantee you either a rare, a super rare, or an ultra rare item. You could also find the winter party starter firecracker inside of those chests, and they will also be back in the blood web for the duration of the event.
I'm really looking forward to that. So if players want to check out the Bone Chill event, it'll have its own special queue, but it's also worth mentioning that the regular trials in the main queue will also have that nice festive vibe where everything is decked out in that holiday decoration with winter-themed chests as well. And I can't say it enough. I'm really looking forward to this one.
And of course, Bone Chill will have its own event tome with 2 levels, where you can earn frosty trinkets by completing challenges. You can spend these on a bunch of great rewards. So we have an outfit for Nia and the Huntress.
Oh my god, look at the Huntress.
We also have frosty weapons for killers.
Nice.
Frosty shirts for survivors. Frosty eyes.
I love how happy he looks.
And of course, some great winter team badge, banner, and charms.
Yeah, that's awesome. Speaking of rewards, though, our advent calendar is also back too with daily logins, where players will either be able to get blood points, iridescent shards, or rift fragments, with some event currency sprinkled in there. So you get a little surprise. And this year, the calendar starts early on December 3rd and ends on the same day that the event does on January 7th. But finally, I know this event is also being accompanied by a new map. So what can you tell us about that?
The new map is called Orman Lake Mine. It's part of Orman, and it's set in an abandoned mining site where all the workers went insane and killed each other.
Good for them.
The map also has a very cool underground section that's beneath an ice floor. The workers has been mining, and you can jump into that hole and explore the creepy frozen underground section of the map. We've also got a surprise somewhere in the area. We won't spoil it. You'll have to log in and discover it on your own.
Okay, so we got some homework.
Yeah. The map has a great eerie look to it, and it's like the rest of the Orman realm. So it will be decked out and decorated to celebrate the team with garlands, lights, Christmas trees, present boxes, and even more. While we are releasing the map alongside the event, the two are not tied together.
Okay.
So Orman Lake Mine is here to stay and will be a permanent addition to Dead by Daylight. And I would like to finish with a big shout out to the event team, but also everyone that worked on that new map. So that's level art, level design, environment team. You know who you are. Everyone that got involved in that map. The event looked great. The map is absolutely fantastic. It was a big surprise event for myself, and it looks so good. and it's all thanks to their efforts and their artwork.
The map does look amazing, and shout out to you as well for getting your hands on that. So thanks again, Mael, and especially for your first time on the stream. This has been amazing. The event looks awesome, as always, and it's starting December 12th, remember, and ending on January 7th. I cannot wait to jump into a snowman and stare the ever-living daylights out of the killer. Get it? But now we're going to be moving on to a quick check-in with Eric, where he's going to be telling us about some great news with another event coming back into the fog. Oh my God, how good does that event look?
So good. So good. I can't
So
wait.
good. I cannot wait. I will be hiding in snowmen the entire time.
That's my default state, is hiding in snowmen. That game mode is for me.
It's for me too. Like Mael mentioned, the new Bone Chill in-game event runs until January 7th. But if you find yourself craving a new experience once it's done, the good news is you won't have to wait long.
That's right. Beginning on January 16th and running until January 28th, fan favorite Chaos Shuffle is back for another round of madness. This time, we did get super positive feedback last time and like the time before, so we're bringing it back with everything that you loved, but also a nice addition of special perk animation at the beginning of each trial to reveal the perks that were selected for you. And in a perfect crossover with the roll of the dice randomness of Chaos Shuffle, the modifier will have a Dungeons and Dragons tie-in.
Which I, as a DM, am super excited about. So what's even more exciting in this start of the modifier, it will be synced with a bunch of new additions to the Dungeons and Dragons collection, which Rose will be on to tell us about in a few moments. And plus, a selection of the earnable event rewards will be D&D themed as well. So, again, the new Chaos Shuffle modifier starts on January 16th, so stay tuned for more information. But now, let's go ahead and bring back Rose on the couch to talk about all of the upcoming collections.
Oh yeah, this is one of my favorite parts.
Welcome, Skelcom, back on out to the couch. That does not mean anything. I just made it up. We're back again with one of my favorite segments, where we're looking at the upcoming collections with one of my favorite people, our store product director, Rose. As always, we'll be reviewing some absolutely amazing collections. I mean it, absolutely amazing, and giving you a first look at the outfits that are going to be available soon in the store. So let's go ahead and get to it, and thank you again for joining us, Rose.
It's nice to be back.
So I know we've got a bunch of collections that are set to release over the next little while, but today I think you wanted to focus on 3, right?
Exactly. And as usual, all the collections we're talking about today and the ones we don't cover directly are all up in the latest collection section in deadbydaylight.com, so you can always check them out after the show.
Yes, after the show, because we still have a great show for you today. So in that case, what's the first thing we'll be taking a look at today?
Well, our latest chapter, Doomed Course, will be releasing today, so let's start with the 2 new amazing outfits from the new Doomed Course collection. Starting with our survivor, we have the creepy, very rare traditional robes outfit for Tari Kane. As we learned earlier, Tari was a member of the Black Talon cult, and this is an outfit she could have worn for one of their ceremonies. As you can see, it's very ornate, with its long flowing robes and that sinister golden mask. It feels like it was created to be used in some sort of dark ritual.
Yeah, it's still hard to believe that this is going to be worn by a survivor, but it looks awesome. So on the killer side, I think our dog lovers are really going to love this next one.
Yeah, me too. This is a visceral legendary rarity outfit for the Houndmaster called the Ultimate Houndmaster. And not only does this give Portia a bit of a more lavish look to go with her heels, there's a beautiful new weapon style, but it completely changes the breed of her dog Snug. So with this outfit, we've changed Snug from a cane corso to a poodle, giving all those dog lovers out there a whole new breed to play with in-game. Tell us what other breeds you'd love to see for Snug in the chat. No corgis, though. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, our past visceral legendaries have changed the Mori. This one won't do that in quite the same way. So instead, it offers a whole new look at the killer power, in this case, the dog, which is also front and center in the Mori. Both of these outfits will be releasing today.
All right. I love this Snook can change into other breeds through the cosmetics. I'm seriously looking forward to a Chihuahua or a Pug or a French Bulldog themed visceral legendary in the future. So keep me in mind, please. So what else do you have in store for us today?
So for our next collection, we're super happy to be revisiting the Dungeons & Dragons collection to go along with our new D&D themed Chaos Shuffle modifier. So we're adding 5 beautiful new very rare outfits. One of them is for the Lich, and the other 4 reimagine our survivors as the class they would probably be in D&D.
Okay, let's see them.
So first off, we've got Zarina as a rogue in her cunning action outfit, giving off stealthy vibes that are perfect for her character. I relate to this one a lot since I played a rogue in our product team D&D session. I was robbing a colleague within the first hour. Next, we have Elodie, who continues her quest for knowledge as a warlock in the Seeker of Secrets outfit.
Ooh, nice.
We've also got Gabriel, putting his engineering skills to use as an artificer, or maker of magical items, in his Mending Magic outfit.
I really like this.
Then we have Adam Francis, whose skills as a teacher make him perfect for the Arcane Scholar outfit. Take a good look at the magical markings on his face.
I love that.
And finally, we have the Decaying King outfit for the Lich. This outfit is made to mimic a stone statue of Vecna's likeness that was created by his followers and adorned with lit candles, giving it a really unique look in trials.
All right, these were absolutely amazing, and I honestly cannot wait to get my hands on them, especially the looks for Elodie and Gabriel. So with that in mind, when can I get my little thingies on them?
So all of these outfits in the Dungeons & Dragons collection will be released on January 16th alongside the Chaos Shuffle modifier.
All right, perfect. So I know this last collection we'll be talking about is one that the people on the team were really excited about. Yeah, see, like, look at how excited Rose is. So how about you clue us in?
All right, so I'm super excited for this one, as you can see. On January 7th, we're kicking the new year off with a collection that celebrates the work of acclaimed Japanese horror manga artist Junji Ito. So if you've heard of his work, it's super distranged, and he's got a lot of body horror going on in his work, which is super perfect for Dead by Daylight. And we couldn't be more excited to talk about this 8-outfit collection. If you've never watched nor read any of his stuff, I truly recommend you go check it out. It's amazing. So for the Dead by Daylight Junji Ito collection, we have 2 legendary outfits for our killers that we're super proud of. And we even recorded special audio for each of them to really add to their feel. So first off, we'll show you the artist as Miss Fuchi, pulled from the story Fashion Model.
Oh my god, that is really creepy.
Yeah, do you hear the sounds?
Yes, and I wish I wasn't. But you said there are 2 legendary outfits here, right?
Yeah, I did. There's another legendary outfit from the DVD Junji Ito collection, and it's the Spirit as Tomie, who is probably the most famous of any of the characters in Junji Ito's work. This outfit specifically is taken from the story Painter.
Wow, that was really okay. But the audio definitely takes it to the next level. Junji Ito has an insanely talented art style, but I've got to say, I feel like the team has really taken it and nailed it.
Yeah, on that note specifically, I really, really love one of the other 6 outfits, which are all very rare, by the way, and it's the Soichi's party clothes outfit for the Trickster from Soichi's Convenient Curse. And I think, in my opinion, it's really one of the most successful adaptations we've done from anime to DVD. And this character, he hides nails in his mouth and he can spit them at people.
Oh my god.
So if you look closely, you'll see that Trickster actually has a mouthful of nails.
Oh wow, that is pretty convenient to be using to spit nails out of people. I don't think any other character could really pull off that outfit but the Trickster. And I will say I've heard that the look for the Dredge in this collection is definitely going to be the reason why I get noise complaints from my apartment for screaming at the night for the DVD.
I can totally see why. The Dredge is in what we're calling its Half-Spirit's Torment outfit. It's inspired by the story of the mysterious tunnel, and we spent a lot of time changing some aspects about the Dredge to connect him with the story, so it turned out unbelievably creepy in-game.
So scary to see this. Oh, hell no. No.
And this is just a static image.
Yeah.
Imagine him creeping up behind
And I don't want to
you.
imagine that, Rose. I do not want to imagine that. That's okay. Let's talk about
All right,
something
let's
else.
move on. We have a lot more. We also have Kate in her Puppet's Troubled Ballet outfit from the story Marionette Mansion. You'll be able to see strings floating above her the entire match, making her feel like a marionette suspended in the air.
Oh, wow. That's so cool.
We also have Yui in her Tsukiko uniform outfit, looking like the schoolgirl from the story Tomiya's Photos.
I really love that.
Yeah, she's cute. We have Yunchin in her Terumi's Fame outfit, inspired by the story Hanging Balloon, fortunately still in one piece. And finally, the twins in their Hikizuri's Dark Past outfit, inspired by the story The Strange Hikizuri Siblings.
That one looks really creepy. I do not want to see the twins chasing me with that. Oh, wow. But we had so much to cover here today. But with the holidays just around the corner, we're also going to be rolling out some great additions to our winter holiday collections.
Yeah, you can check out all of those collections in the latest collection section in deadbydaylight.com for a full look at the outfits in the Holiday Horrors collection, the Deck the Trials collection, and of course, the Ugly Sweater collection.
I hear the sweaters this year are going to be especially ugly, so I'm really looking forward to that. So big thanks to you, Rose, for joining me on the couch once again. And as you said, we're super proud of the Junji Ito collection. So proud, in fact, that we showed this to Junji himself to get his reaction for seeing the outfits for the first time. And we'll be sharing that in the early new year on social, so be sure to keep an eye out so you can catch that video. So we'll be moving on now to our not so live Q&A segment, so stay tuned.
Okay, we talked about our new chapter, new characters, dogs, events, and collections today, so why not do a Q&A to wrap things up for the show and provide some insights. So let's dive right into it. Question number 1 from Le Communauté. With Scourge Hook, Jagged Compass, does that mean that killers can now have more than 4 Scourge Hooks on a map?
Yes, it does. If the killer is running this perk and hooks a survivor on a regular hook, when the survivor is unhooked, the hook becomes a new Scourge Hook. It does not replace one of the previous Scourge Hooks, so this means that for the first time ever, killers can have more than 4 Scourge Hooks on a map. And also, the same perks that apply to the original 4 Scourge Hooks also applies to the new hook.
You get an award for saying the word hook in the shortest amount of time in most time. Question 2. With Snug receiving a customization that you saw earlier in the show, does that mean we can expect to see more killer power customizations in the future?
We are planning on it. We don't have a confirmed time frame at this stage, but yes, it is our intention.
Dope. All right, question 3. What made you decide to create a more evil survivor this time around?
Well, we're always looking to explore more of the realm and those that find themselves trapped within it. The entity feeds off of emotion, and the entity always has a plan, even if it's something that we ourselves can't understand. Perhaps it sensed a benefit to having someone that doesn't exactly see eye to eye with the other survivors or doesn't fit the typical survivor archetype. Tori doesn't understand why she's trapped with these people that never believed as she did, and that creates resentment and conflict, something that the entity can really feed off of.
Awesome. All right, question 4. On the PTB, there was a new map, part of the Mount Orman realm. But this map is not releasing as part of the chapter, so when can we expect to see it come into the game?
So as mentioned by Mael, this map in particular is going to be a part of our winter celebration, the Bone Chill event for the first time, and have an entirely new map to go along with it as it releases on December 12th. But it won't be just for the holidays. It will be remaining permanently within Dead by Daylight.
Awesome. And last question, question number 5. On the PTB, there were changes made to the Survivor HUD, which were great. Are there any plans to go further with this and show things like the anti-face camp bar?
This is definitely something that we would like to do. We don't have a timeline for adding that into the game just yet. However, it's definitely something we've heard and that is requested, and we're looking into our options for doing so.
Fantastic. Thank you for being the voice of the team, as always, Dork. And that is a wrap for us. Thank you for joining us all year long, but also this show in particular. And obviously, thanks for playing the game. That's why we're here. And we hope you enjoyed Dead by Daylight, the Doomed Course Livestream.
And like Eric mentioned, this is our last live stream of the year, but we're already looking forward to seeing you again in March for our next show, where we'll be sharing all of our upcoming details about the next chapter. Dead by Daylight isn't slowing down by any means in 2025, though. So expect great tons of content that'll be on the horizon. And don't forget to keep an eye out for the January Chaos Shuffle modifier and the release of the Junji Ito collection. Until then, the whole Dead by Daylight team wishes you a safe holiday and a happy new year. We're going to be raiding out to Ghost Arcade on Twitch, but for everyone else, we'll see you in the fog. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.